Miguel. We just walked through the big-ass U-shaped airport in Utah, and we're exhausted. Miguel! And we're waiting for our rental car.
For our first hike, we chose the Navajo Loop Trail starting at Sunset Point, which at 1.3 miles and 500 feet of elevation change was a super nice and scenic hike to end a really long day of traveling. It had moderate switchbacks, breathtaking views of the hoodoo-filled canyon, and lots of vividly colored orange limestone. Overall, it was a really big crowd pleaser and all 4 of us thoroughly enjoyed it. This is Caesar. He's the best photographer I know, but he's also super forgetful with his phone when he's lasered in on his photography. This was like the 8th or 9th time that he forgot his phone in just this first day alone, and we hadn't even gone anywhere other than the hotel yet, so he had to run back to the car and grab it for the rest of the hike. Miguel gave me a very enthusiastic wave. I wish that we could fly through it. That'd be cool, right? I didn't even have to duck. Ooh.
This park is made for you. We're gonna have to get a stroller for you. My heart rate's elevated.
The next day, we did the Peekaboo Loop Trail at Bryce Canyon. It's a 5.2 mile hike with an elevation gain of 1,500 feet. You can see from the elevation profile that the first half is much more leisurely than the second. Our friendly shuttle driver warned us that this was a strenuous hike, but my big ego told me that my sprightly young body would absolutely crush it. Instead, the hike totally kicked my ass. We actually set out to do 2 hikes this day, this one being the shorter of the 2. But instead, after we finished this hike, we just scarfed down an early dinner from Subway, the one food option in town, and then we all took a 2-hour nap. Then, Shambik and I mustered up the energy to do 30 minutes of jump roping for a challenge we're trying to complete.
Bruh, this is a gnarly hike. You're about to finish Peekaboo.
I don't know why you want to make enemies.
Hi folks, welcome to Bryce Canyon National Park. This park is 100 million years old. It was formed by Pangea. These things here are made out of calcium carbonate. That is a chemical that can be found in your water bottles. I'm done.
On day 3, we packed up in Bryce and started making our way over to Zion. We stopped for 2 hikes along the way, Hidden Haven and Spring Creek Canyon. Hidden Haven is a short 1.4 mile hike with a cute waterfall at the end. Spring Canyon is in Cedar City, minutes away from the much more spectacular Canara Creek Falls. We weren't able to get tickets there because they've capped that trail at 150 hikers a day. Spring Canyon kind of still scratched the same itch as Canara. It had lush greenery, a few cute streams, and it's also a slot canyon hike filled with those rich orange rock formations. It's a 5.3 mile long hike out and back, and it has 948 feet of elevation gain. We found that the first 2.5-ish miles of the slot canyon portion were the best and most interesting part of the hike. On our 4th day, we woke up early to do the Narrows hike at Zion National Park. It's an 8.9 mile out and back hike where you're walking along the river at the bottom of the slot canyon. It's one of my favorite hikes of all time, and this is the 3rd time that I was doing it.
Oh my god, it's so deep on me. Pain. I can't feel my legs, but they're moving somehow.
Should we like breaststroke this? Just like, I mean, it's deep enough. We could swim.
Miguel!
We walked all the way until the river forked off, and then we explored the smaller right fork, which went on for quite a bit. We reached a point where it was just too challenging to keep going, and our ankles were all getting pretty tired from the constant stabilization that was required from just stepping through the rocky river. So we turned back. One complaint that Caesar and Miguel had was that the hike required so much concentration to watch your step that it was just hard to take in the views. We also all did the hike in regular shoes, but I would definitely recommend renting the water boots for better ankle support and protection. On our last day, we spent a couple hours touring the Red Butte Garden in Salt Lake City. With over 100 acres and several hiking trails, it's an expansive and impressively manicured garden run by the University of Utah. As a plant lover, but an extremely frugal one, I'd say the $14 admission was worth it.
This is Caesar's guide to packing up dirty clothes in the most space-efficient way.
So you want to lay down your long piece of clothing first, and you want to make sure the clothes is dirty, because when you get home, you're going to know that the rolled up clothes is the one that you need to wash. So there's a few items.
Caesar, do you just dump the whole thing in the wash?
No, you're going to undo the capsule, but you take a pair of dirty socks, long one, you put them on top of your clothes, and then all you do is basically use your hands to roll it up like a very tight burrito. So once you get to this point, you're gonna have a cylindrical shape of clothes, and then you wrap the ends of the sock.
I feel so bad for your socks.
The socks are fine. They're more resilient than you think. And once you have one side, then the other side's really easy because you just have this hanging thread of the sock. So then,
Miguel's foot is in the video.
once you're done, it looks like this.
Wow!
And this is way more space efficient than if you were to just
Do you have numbers behind that?
30%.
Thank you. That's how it's done. This is the end result. Look how much room he has! There's so much room in here!